It's 1:15 in the morning, February 28th, 2026. Most of America is asleep, but somewhere deep inside U.S. Central Command headquarters in Tampa, Florida, a countdown has already begun. In the next 12 hours, the United States military will execute the most concentrated, most lethal, and most strategically complex operations since the Iraq War. 900 strikes, one coordinated wave, zero room for error. And by the time the sun rises over Tehran, the world will never be the same. This is Operation Epic Fury.
Back in June 2025, the U.S. had already launched Operation Midnight Hammer, a targeted strike using B-2 bombers that destroyed Iran's major nuclear enrichment sites at Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. Trump went on camera and said those facilities had been completely and totally obliterated. But Iran didn't stop. They vowed to rebuild, and they meant it. Meanwhile, inside Iran, something else was boiling. President Trump was furious. He warned Iran directly, reach a deal or face military consequences. Negotiations started in February, held secretly in Oman, and for a brief moment it looked like a deal might actually happen. Iran's foreign minister signaled progress, saying Iran had agreed to stop uranium enrichment entirely. But Trump had already made up his mind. At 3:38 p.m. Eastern Time on February 27th, President Trump gave the final go order to CENTCOM. No turning back, no aborts. The clock was ticking.
At exactly 1:15 a.m. Eastern on February 28th, Operation Epic Fury went live. It hit Iran like a thunderbolt from every direction at once. CENTCOM called it a single synchronized wave, a massive, overwhelming attack across all domains simultaneously. Air, sea, land, cyber, all at once. Let's break down what was in the air that night. The air power. B-2 Spirit stealth bombers, the most advanced aircraft on Earth, flew round-trip missions all the way from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. That's a 34-hour round trip. These planes are so stealthy, Iran's radar couldn't even see them coming. They dropped precision-guided 2,000-pound bombs directly onto Iran's hardened ballistic missile facilities. B-1 and B-52 bombers flew alongside. F-35 Lightning II jets launched from the decks of two aircraft carriers, the USS Abraham Lincoln in the Arabian Sea and the USS Gerald R. Ford in the Eastern Mediterranean. F-22 Raptors, deployed to Israeli bases for the very first time in history, flew air superiority missions. The naval firepower. 14 guided missile destroyers were spread across the Mediterranean and the Middle East, each loaded with standard missiles designed to intercept ballistic threats. Destroyers like the USS Spruance fired Tomahawk cruise missiles, weapons that can fly hundreds of miles and hit a target the size of a car. The new tech. For the very first time in combat history, the U.S. military deployed the Precision Strike Missile, or PRSM, fired from HIMARS rocket launchers on the ground. It has greater range than anything we've used before. Its combat debut in Iran marked a doctrinal milestone. And those Lucas drones? Low-cost, unmanned attack systems, each costing just $35,000. Modeled after Iran's own Shahed drones, the same ones Iran has been using against Ukraine. Now, America was firing them right back at Iran. The numbers. In the first 12 hours alone, 900 U.S. strikes were executed. By the end of the first 24 hours, over 1,000 targets hit. By the end of 48 hours, more than 1,250. And Israel? Their Air Force launched the largest aerial operation in their history. 200 fighter jets hitting nearly 500 Iranian targets across western and central Iran. Together, the joint U.S.-Israel assault was unlike anything the world had seen in a generation. Now here's the moment that stopped the world. One of the very first strikes targeted the compound of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Real-time intelligence had confirmed he was there. Iranian state media confirmed it the following morning. Khamenei's daughter, son-in-law, and grandchild had also been killed in the strike. And it wasn't just Khamenei. Iranian Defense Minister Aziz Nasserizadeh, dead. IRGC Commander Mohammad Pakpour, dead. Defense Council Secretary Ali Shamkhani, dead. 4 top Ministry of Intelligence officials, dead. In total, Israel confirmed the elimination of at least 7 senior Iranian security leaders in the opening hours. The IRGC no longer has a headquarters. 40 years of Iranian regime power in 12 hours, shaken to its core. But Iran wasn't going quietly. Within hours of the first strikes, Iran launched a massive retaliatory campaign of its own. They fired approximately 420 missiles across 9 countries and ships at sea. That is not a typo. 9 countries. Iran directed 162 missiles at Israel, roughly 39% of their total. Another 167 missiles targeted the United Arab Emirates. 46 missiles slammed toward Qatar. They struck U.S. military bases at Al Udeid in Qatar, Ali Al Salem in Kuwait, and sent Shahed 136 drones into Bahrain, hitting a radar installation at the U.S. naval support activity there. Iran even struck commercial targets. A drone hit near Dubai airport. Debris from an interception caused fires at Jebel Ali port. The Burj Al Arab hotel caught fire from drone debris. The Crown Plaza hotel in Bahrain's capital was struck. Civilian casualties confirmed. Iran declared the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most critical shipping lanes on Earth, officially closed. Nearly 20% of the world's oil flows through that strait. The global economy felt it immediately. But here's what Iran couldn't do. Their surface naval fleet largely destroyed at the pier before a single ship could get underway. THAAD and Patriot batteries across the region were intercepting ballistic missiles in real time. On March 1st, President Trump announced that 9 Iranian warships had been sunk and Iran's naval headquarters destroyed. This was a war being fought on every domain, and America was dominating all of them. Now, we have to pause here and talk about something that matters more than any weapon system or military statistic: the men and women who paid the price. By March 1st, CENTCOM confirmed 3 U.S. service members killed in action and 5 seriously wounded. The number grew in the days that followed. On March 12th, 6 American airmen, members of the 6th Air Refueling Wing out of MacDill Air Force Base in Florida, were killed when their KC-135 refueling aircraft crashed in western Iraq. Among them, Captain Ariana G. Savino, Captain Seth R. Koval, and Tech Sergeant Tyler H. Simmons. CENTCOM confirmed the crash was not from hostile fire, but an accident during an operation in friendly airspace. These were real people. Real Americans, and their sacrifice deserves to be remembered. By mid-March, approximately 140 U.S. service members had been injured in the conflict. Let's take a second to appreciate the sheer scale of what the U.S. assembled for this operation. 3 aircraft carrier strike groups were massed in the theater at the same time: the Gerald R. Ford, the Abraham Lincoln, and the George H.W. Bush. The last time America deployed even 2 carriers together in this region was more than 20 years ago. 50,000 troops were positioned across regional hubs in Kuwait, Qatar, and Jordan. More than 20 different weapon systems were deployed, from the most expensive stealth bombers on the planet to $35,000 drones, from submarine-launched torpedoes to THAAD interceptor systems facing the most intense combat test in their entire history. The cost? Over $5 billion in just the first 100 hours alone. This was the largest concentration of American military firepower in the Middle East in a generation. And according to CENTCOM, it was just getting started.
So, what does all of this mean? Operation Epic Fury didn't just reshape the Middle East. It reshuffled the entire global order overnight. Iran's supreme leader? Gone. Its IRGC leadership? Decimated. Its navy? Largely sunk. Its nuclear program? Set back again. Its missile infrastructure? Systematically demolished. But Iran fired back hard.
the region is still on fire. The Strait of Hormuz remains a flashpoint. Hezbollah opened a front from Lebanon. Iran-backed militias in Iraq and Syria are still active. And the question of who leads Iran now, after Khamenei, remains one of the most dangerous unknowns on earth. President Trump told reporters his primary goal was freedom for the people of Iran. He called it a noble mission. Whether that mission succeeds, whether Iran's people can seize this moment to reshape their own future, that story is still being written. But one thing is crystal clear. In 12 hours on February 28, 2026, the United States military proved something it has always known about itself, and that every adversary on Earth needed to see again. When America decides to move, the entire world moves with it.